Hi, my name is Jason Rogers. I'm a principal lead for the Microsoft Defender for Office 365 team. And today, I'd like to tell you about an amazing new feature called priority accounts. Now, the first question that many of you are going to ask is, what is Microsoft Defender for Office 365? So let me talk a little bit about that first. We're aligning all of the security products at Microsoft under the Microsoft Defender umbrella. And so as part of that, we're renaming Office 365 Advanced Threat Protection to Microsoft Defender for Office 365. And this is part of the broader product alignment. And you'll see this in all of our security products showing up in one great new portal, security.microsoft.com. But throughout this presentation, you'll see me referring to Microsoft Defender for Office 365. So before I tell you about priority accounts, let me orient you to Microsoft Defender for Office 365. We started off as a secure email gateway preventing malicious content from getting into your inbox. So we would block malware, and spam, and phish, and we still do that, but we've become so much more. We've expanded beyond prevention over the last few years to holistically protect your entire organization and your email and collaboration space. So the way that we think about this is in several dimensions. The first is secure posture. So having a secure posture means having the right controls in place to secure your organization and not bypassing our filters. We've developed several features this year to let you do that more easily. The first one is secure baselines. All you have to do is choose whether you want to have your users in a standard baseline or a strict baseline, and we take care of the rest. We manage all of the security controls for you, and when we introduce a new control or a new feature, it automatically gets added to that baseline. In conjunction with this feature, we've also introduced Config Analyzer. So you can look at your current configuration and see how far away you are from the optimal baseline. So prevention is kind of the heart and soul of this product still. What we want to do is block as much malicious content as possible from getting into the inbox in order to amplify the impact of your security team and your existing security investments. So the more that we're able to block at the edge, it means fewer investigations for your security team. And it means that they can spend more time hunting for threats across your organization instead of just investigating emails that we may have missed. And we've gotten to the point now where we have some of the industry best effectiveness levels. So we're able to block more malicious content and not block more good content and correctly classify the content that we've blocked. When we think about detections, there is going to be some amount of content that gets through. Every product has that. There will be some FNs, and some content's going to get through. But we make it a priority to notify you when we realize that something has been missed, so your security team can go easily identify it, find it, and remediate it. And that takes us to our investigation and hunting platform. So it's Explorer, if you guys haven't had a chance to check it out yet. And it's a tool that allows your security team to jump from that detection alert into context of the broader mail flow of everything across your organization and expand the hunt for that threat across your entire organization. So you can find emails based on an individual indicator of compromise or from a specific sender, that contains a particular URL or file, group all those emails into an incident and take remediation action right from Explorer. We've also have a number of response tools in addition to the ones that your security admins can take directly from Explorer. So we've got a product called AIR. And AIR is the automated investigation and response tool where we'll take over that investigation and make recommendations for responses automatically for you. So the second that somebody submits an email to us saying that they think it might be malicious, we kick off an investigation for you, find every other mail that might be malicious, look at those users' inbox, look at the user activity, and we make a list of recommendations of actions that we think that your security team should take. All they have to do is one click, accept our recommendations, and then we take those response actions for you. And finally, awareness and training. We've got a new version of Attack Simulator coming out that we're incredibly excited about. But really, awareness and training is more than just simulations. So we think of that as bringing security to the products that your users are already using for productivity. A great example of this is enhanced hover in Outlook. So when we wrap a link for safe links and the user hovers over that link in Outlook, instead of seeing a garbled mess, we show them the original link. So those investments that you've made in hover training are preserved. So once again, amplifying the impact of your security team, amplifying the impact of your investments. And really now we're going to move on to priority accounts. And priority accounts are another way in which not only we're amplifying the impact of your security team, but we're also focusing your security team into just those things that you care about the most. Microsoft Defender for Office 365 is part of a larger Microsoft 365 Defender suite. So our responsibility is protecting your email and collaboration, your user data in Office 365. But there are three other pillars, one to protect identity, one for endpoints, and one for cloud apps. Today, we're going to focus exclusively on user data and Microsoft Defender for Office 365. There are certain people within your organization that have the ability to access your bank accounts, to withdraw money. They have the ability to sign vendor POs and make payments to vendors. They have access to your secrets. They have access to your accounts and your data systems. They have access to your business strategy. They have access to your plans for your next merger, your next acquisition. They even have access to information about your next product line. These people with this access are your priority accounts. These are the keys to the kingdom as far as an attacker is concerned. If they can get access to these people, then they have access to your secrets and your money and your data. We've developed priority accounts to help you identify and tag these key users, and then we provide filtering throughout our entire stack to help you focus in just on those accounts that matter the most. And so today I'm going to talk about how we assign priority accounts to these specific users, what happens when there's a detection that targets these priority accounts, how to hunt for threats just across your priority account space, and then how to identify trends that just affect priority accounts, not only to just get a sense of what's attacking and targeting your most susceptible, valuable users, but also so you can understand the value that ATP is providing specifically for these users. First, let me show you how to assign priority accounts. So this is the Microsoft Admin Console. This is the same surface that you would use to provision a new user or reset their password. It's just at admin.microsoft.com. And so from within this experience that you're already using, there's going to be a new option that will be showing up soon, and that's called Manage Priority Accounts. And this takes you to the priority account management experience where you can provision users into priority accounts. So you just click on Add Account, and you get this flyout. And in this case, we're going to use Carmen Cortez as the Chief Financial Officer of our fictitious company for all of our examples today. So I'm going to add Carmen Cortez as our priority account CFO, and you can see that she shows up here. Now, priority account is a much broader concept than just security. And so you'll see this pop up across all of Microsoft 365, not just in the security space, but within the security space in Office 365, we've implemented priority accounts as tags. So let's see what that looks like inside of the security portal. So this is just inside of security.microsoft.com. The new security portal, it'll also show up in protection.office.com. And this is I've taken us straight to the user tag management experience. So you can see that we've already defined a system tag called priority account that already exists. We've provisioned that for you. And because Carmen has been already added at the Mac level, she's automatically propagated through and become part of the priority account user tag. As you can see, she's already there. We also are going way beyond priority accounts with the concept of tags. So we give you the option to define your own tags. So you can see here, we've identified a tag for the finance department, the HR department, and service accounts that may have elevated access. The sky's the limit for what you can do with custom tags. But you can also assign users from this experience into your tags. And in the case of priority accounts, you can assign not just from Mac, but you can also assign from this experience. So when I come here to assign a mailbox, I've got the option to do it through a flat file import. So if you already have a list of who you want in your priority accounts, you can simply import it. And we also have an experience where you can add a user directly, or you can tell us a distribution group or a security group, and we'll do a one-time import of that group and assign everybody in that group to a priority account. Now, when you add somebody to a tag group within security.microsoft.com, if it's the priority account tag that you've added them to, we'll automatically make sure that they get added globally into priority accounts within the Microsoft Admin Console. So when you go back to that experience, those users will still be there. And you can take advantage of those users you've added across all of the priority account experiences beyond security. So now that we have Carmen tagged as a priority account, let's see what happens when she's exposed to a threat. So this is an example of a phishing email that I sent to Carmen. It looks an awful lot like her bank, saying, hey, we've got a great new feature called Account Guard that you can take advantage of for free. All you have to do is log in and enable this feature. And so Carmen goes ahead and clicks on that link, and we're taken to a page that looks an awful lot like her bank. Oh, except it's not. You can see Bank of American. So this is a phishing page. Unfortunately, Carmen enters her credentials, and the attacker has gotten access to her credentials. But fortunately, we have the ability to create alerts now that are scoped specifically to our priority accounts. So you can see that this one, the alert is scoped to that specific policy tag, a priority account. And these alerts are now getting routed to the team that just deals with protecting priority accounts. So I know a lot of you probably have security teams that are just responsible for your C-suite and top executives. So now they can get alerts that are just focused on these priority accounts. And so now this is what the alert looks like when it comes through. You can see that we have priority account clearly labeled. So if you are getting more than just alerts for priority accounts, you can easily see when one comes through that is for one of your priority accounts. And then when you click on the alert detail, you're taken right back into the alert queue experience to this specific alert. Once again, you can see clearly labeled as as this is an alert for a priority account. We need to take action immediately. And now from this alert, you can jump right into Explorer that we talked about earlier and see the email associated with this alert, or go to the more detailed alert page. So now let me show you that Explorer experience and what that looks like for priority accounts. But remember, Explorer isn't just about understanding what happened in the alert. It allows you to hunt broadly across all of your mail in your organization. And so this is Explorer. It's a fantastic tool. It allows you to search and pivot in interesting ways to get just the collection of emails that you're concerned about, and then take action directly from the tool. So you can delete emails directly from the inbox if you think they're malicious. After you've searched for a specific URL or a specific file or mails from a specific sender. And so this shows you the full list of filters that we can apply to really drill in. But you can see that we now have a filter that's specifically for tags. So we can have just mails that meet this criteria. I'm looking at fish mails right now. That's the view I'm in. And these are mails that are just for priority accounts. And if I scroll down, you can see that in the email list itself, they're also labeled as the recipient was a priority account. So if you're involved in a broader search where you haven't just filtered on priority account, you can easily see, which of the recipients that were returned in that search are contained, are one of your priority accounts. And then you can also sort to just, bring those priority accounts right to the top if you wish to. And then when we drill in on one of these emails, we get taken to, and this is the new email entity page. Really excited about this. It tells you everything that we know about that particular email. Shows you the full kind of timeline and history of that mail, talks about the attachments and any URLs in there, but we also give you this analysis tab that gives you a lot of detail about, not only information about the email and the senders in the domain, but also everything that we know, what our filters detected as it came through our filtering stack. But we also let you know in this experience that, hey, this is something you need to pay attention to. This is one of your priority accounts. Explorer also has this great functionality called advanced filters that lets you build complex queries off of these filters. And so we've added a tag as a filtering option here as well. And so you can see that I'm filtering on the priority account tag. And so also mails that are from those priority accounts, but also were detected just using file reputation. So the sky is really the limit across all those possible filtering combinations. You can build these advanced queries focused just on your priority accounts. Now, there's a feature called campaigns, which is great. So it gives you context of a specific threat in the context of the broader campaign that it was contained in. So a lot of you have probably done this by pivoting on the subject of an email or on a particular URL to try to figure out what's the full campaign of emails that an attacker has sent towards my organization. But we've improved on that filtering and clustering using machine learning in order to put together a holistic view of one attacker sending a campaign of a bunch of different attacks that are coming from different sending infrastructure with using different sender domains with different URLs. We can combine that all into one coherent campaign. And then show you all of those individual IOCs and attributes about the campaign. But we've also introduced priority accounts to campaigns. And so you see a similar kind of filter here that you have in Explorer. You can filter in all the same ways, including tags. And so we can filter down to priority accounts and see just those campaigns that contain your priority accounts. And this is the detailed view of that campaign. You can see the flow showing you, what the sending infrastructure was, where that campaign came from, all the way through to, what happened with those individual messages. And we also show you, more detail. So in this case, we see Carmen's click on that link. Once again, the fact that she is a priority account. Then we also see that we allowed the link. So at the time she clicked on the link, we hadn't completed our detonation. We didn't realize it was malicious. And so she was able to go to that site. Now we know we need to go take remediation for Carmen. Some of her credentials may be at risk. She needs to go update her passwords. And finally, I want to talk about how you can identify threat trends across your priority accounts. So this is our threat protection status report. It's an aggregate trending report that can show you up to 90 days of data. Once again, a bunch of different filters and a bunch of different pivots to let you see exactly what was targeting, the trends that were targeting your organization, over time, filtered, very specifically down to type of content and detection methodology. So what I'm going to show you today is I'm going to jump to just the phish view. So this is showing you all the phish that came at our fictitious organization, and it shows you what the detection technology was that enabled us to block that phish. And so I can filter more. In this case, I'm going to filter down to just ATP filters. So these are Those filters that you get when you have Microsoft Defender for Office 365. So we're going to take away those kind of more basic Exchange Online protection filters. But in addition, I want to see just those threats that were coming at my priority accounts. And this is hugely powerful because I'm sure you all get the question of, hey, what's the value that this extra investment is really providing for my organization? And now you can go and say, hey, here's all the detections that happen just from these premium filters. And they protected those users that we really care about the most. So you can select priority account, and you're given a view that's filtered down to just all the fish that was caught by premium filters just for my C-suite. So hugely powerful. So where do we go from here? Priority accounts are just the beginning. Like I said, for us, tags is a platform and a concept that's broader than just priority accounts. You can imagine system tags beyond priority account that we populate for you. So we know who your top 100 targeted users are. We can have a top targeted tag that we keep populated with, who was the most targeted last week. So you can hunt over that group, watch out over that group. Who failed my last phishing simulation? Or who's click happy? Who in your organization, after they get that safe links block page, decides they're going to continue on to that malicious content anyway. So you can imagine system tags that we curate for you. But also, like I said, we're giving you custom tags. So you're going to have 50 custom tags that you can use to light up your own scenarios across priority accounts. And I've just shown you, 3 or 4 scenarios that we're lighting up for priority accounts as part of the public preview. We're going to be extending this concept of filtering and pivoting and targeting on the priority account tag across our entire stack. This shows the full feature set for Microsoft Defender for Office 365 by SKU type. And you can see tags and priority accounts are going to show up here as part of the P2 SKU or part of the M365 E5 security SKU. And of course, that's also, would make it part of our suite SKUs, so the Office E5 suite or the M365 E5 suite. Thank you so much for taking the time today to learn more about priority accounts. We are extremely excited about this feature, and it's going to be lighting up in public preview in your tenant soon. We can't wait to hear your feedback. Thank you.